You're all here already?
Yes, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini live from Miami.
No, we're not Miami
not
yet.
Miami yet. Fort Lauderdale.
I think we have to start over. We're in Fort Lauderdale. We're not in Miami, but it's not far from Miami.
Yeah, we are here for a marketing retreat, and we're so excited. We get to start this tomorrow, and it'll be good for our doctors to get the information, all of you, and we're excited. So tonight we have four special guests. We have
four.
Yeah, four. We have Dr. Cooper.
Wait, me, you,
not
and who
you,
else?
Not you.
Oh.
It's me with the doctors.
Okay.
We have Dr. Cooper and Tiffany from Forest Park, Georgia, and Columbus, Alabama, right?
Phoenix City.
Alabama. Oh my gosh, yeah. And then we have Dr. Cox and Dixie from Charlotte, North Carolina.
And future Raleigh.
Yeah.
That area.
Yeah, we're so excited.
We'll talk about that too.
And then tonight, what we're going to be discussing is stop being scared of your supervisors. And we're going to help you go through the process because we just got back like last week from another union convention. And all we hear is, and this goes for every agency across the board, you're scared. You're scared, you're scared, you're scared. So we're going to fix that tonight. So
I wore my Don't Be Scared shirt tonight. This is a lion on fire. And this is kind of like how I like to see myself. I know for sure this is how Dr. Cooper and Dr. Cox see themselves. You'll get to know them and understand that that's definitely who they are. But what I'd like you to think is don't be scared. And I'll repeat this a few times tonight. Repeat after me. I don't care what my supervisors think. And don't. For sure, because once you find the right doctor, your doctor will school your supervisors. They won't have a chance. And our doctors and the ones you're going to hear tonight definitely are good at schooling your supervisors. Just let them know that their day's over.
All right, so we are live from Facebook, Breaking OWCP, it's Gini Helms, Chris Helms, Federal Injury Centers, Wednesday night OWCP Chats. Also YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok and Instagram. So
wait, that's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff. So we're trying to dominate.
So we're actually going to end this now because that's pretty intimidating.
Go Phillies. Hey, we have Melissa on from Federal Injury Centers of Roscoe. Dr. Kemmerer is from Pinellas Park, Lando Lakes in the Palm Harbor office.
In Florida.
So those of you that need information, don't forget to check out these doctors.
Throughout the night, something tells me that a lot of our doctors and their staff are going to be on saying hello to you. So say hello back. If you find somebody that's in your area, say hi. They're here to meet you, to understand what your issues are. Dr. Brooks in Columbus, Ohio, thank you for being on. So a lot of docs are going to be on in the comments and talking. So talk back to them. Have a conversation with them. They're here to meet you, to understand what you need, and to show you that they're here to help you. But Dr. Cox and Dr. Cooper are our featured guests tonight. We got Greenville, South Carolina on. Are there any doctors in Minnesota? I'm sure there are, but none that are good enough to be with us yet. So we're working on it. And whoever's talking about the Phillies, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I can't like anything from Philadelphia. I probably just lost a lot of fans. All right. So in the last week, we're going to do housekeeping. You're going to do some sharing.
Yeah. Don't forget. Okay. So I know you guys shared. I already have the two winners for the live. Thank you so much for sharing.
Wait, two
winners. We're doing two winners a month.
I'll be damned.
I will email you no later than Monday your gift card. So our two winners is Tanya Fieri. She shared like over 80 times.
Tanya, we love you.
And then we have Olga. Olga, I don't remember what your last name is, but Olga is in the Staten Island area.
Olga.
So Olga and Tanya, congratulations on winning for the share winners, a $100 gift card of your choice.
And Olga, I don't know you yet,
yes,
but
yes, you do.
I do?
Yeah, from New York when we went to Manhattan.
Well, I met her once.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I met you once, but I love you.
Yeah. So thank you guys all for sharing. We're doing this so you could get your coworkers to come on here.
Let folks know.
Let folks know and learn information about OWCP. And again, tonight our topic is enough is enough with being scared with your supervisors and filing your claims. So,
but prior to that, we're going to talk to the docs, and but we're giving you just sort of the housekeeping so you can do some sharing stuff.
Yeah.
So the housekeeping is we were just in some places. Now we're not there. We're in this new place. We're not going to be here tomorrow. and we're going to be in Miami, do some other stuff.
Yeah, it's all work related. So,
but in that effort, it's to find doctors in new areas, away from where our other doctors are, so we can help in other places. So that's what we're doing. But tonight's gonna be fun. Okay, we've never had 2 interviews on at a time, so we've got to go 15 and 15, and I still got to teach my topic.
Yeah. So let's get our 2 doctors on. I mean, our doctor on first with his case manager, and just listen to what they have to say, what they have to offer you as federal employees, and how they can get you back to work and get you to retirement. Okay. And hold all your questions till we're done with our doctors.
Well, you don't have to hold the questions, but I promise not to answer any question I don't see. So just hang on. All right. So I'm going to bring on Dr. Cox and Dixie first. Dr. Cooper's in the green room waiting.
We have Dr. Clare from Federal Injury Centers of Virginia Beach on. Welcome.
So if you're in Virginia Beach, you are in for a nice surprise. He's going to be great.
Yes, he is coming soon.
All right. So Dr. Cooper, hang on. Tiffany, hang on. Dr. Cox. Dixie.
Good evening. Hello.
Hi.
Here, let's change this. There you are. Hello. So everyone, this is Dr. Cox and Dixie. They're from Charlotte, North Carolina. If you're in North Carolina, or I'm thinking South Carolina or someplace close, and you want to have a claim accepted, this is probably your first call. So Dr. Cox and Tiffany, Dixie. Sorry, Dixie. I've never had 4 people on at once, so I'm going to screw this up like 5 times tonight, maybe 8. But everyone go to federalinjurycenters.com and look at the locations tab. And we've changed it. So at the top of the page, you can say find a location and click it.
Yeah.
And you go down to North Carolina, you'll find Dr. Cox there. We don't have anybody else in North Carolina. And Dr. Cox, we don't actually anticipate ever having anybody else there but you. Because what you and Dixie are doing are groundbreaking. I mean, people are getting their claims accepted at a massive rate. I'd like to start there. And Dr. Cox, I'm going to have a lot to say to you. But if you don't mind, I'd like to start with Dixie because of this question. And everyone knows that I never prompt anyone with questions in advance. But in truthfulness, I did make sure Dixie knew the answer. And she did, because she's the best ever. Dixie, how many accepted cases did you get this last year?
This last year, 99.
99?
That's awesome.
So
let's get some hearts for that, guys.
Why wasn't it 100? Okay.
Because I counted on Monday, not Tuesday.
So this is for everyone here. So, I mean, they're in their first year, right, Dr. Cox? This is your first year.
Yeah, just about. Yes.
And you've already gotten, you probably have 100, but Dixie, you've got 99 confirmed. But
Correct.
You're going to have 100 tomorrow for sure. So what I'd like you to do, and you feel free to just bounce off each other, what are you doing to get so many cases accepted?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to have someone like Dixie. I'll just give her kudos. I mean, the knowledge that she has, she brings to the table. She's always working so closely with so many things that she's learned from you all. Dixie, I mean, you spend so much time talking to people face to face, and that's invaluable because you really hear what's going on. Would you agree? Or
Yeah, I'm on the phone all day.
And you know what? That's right. And by the way, Dixie, last time I was there, right? We were there. You had the open house,
Right.
And and I went up to you like you were just in the middle of talking to 2 or 3 people, and randomly I don't even think you knew I was going to get there. You didn't know I was coming. It's not like I announced myself. And I walked up to you and I said, "Hey, how many cases do you have, and how many are approved?" You had it, right?
Right.
Why do you know that? Why is that important?
Because I like to help people. I like to know. I get just as excited as they do when their case is approved. And that's my favorite call to make during the day. Guess what? Your case is approved. Let's go to the next steps. So.
Yeah, and it's something we celebrate. Getting accepted cases is like the number one thing we do. Everything is about the accepted case. Dr. Cox, you've had a chance to see all these people. You probably had a lot of people that came into you with denied claims already, right?
Yeah, it's that's tough. Yeah.
And so what are they thinking? Like the end of the world is here, right?
Yeah, it's you never forget that look on someone's face when it just doesn't have any hope. They're frustrated. I was talking with a gentleman just the other day, and it's the same thing. It's been denied. I was told that this case was closed, and my first call is always to Dixie, and she's like, "Oh, that's not true. We should be able to do this, or what about if we did that?" And when you hear what they've gone through and you see the file and how big it is, and then the simple things I think that are simple when you listen to them that were left out, that weren't discussed, that weren't explained properly, that really didn't get to the right person to read it in such a way that they get it approved, then Dixie gets to make these great phone calls. And it's the hugs and all. It's just, people are in disbelief, and they don't have to be.
Yeah, and they are in disbelief. So the people that you probably talk to, they probably have said things like, nobody ever gets their claim accepted, right? You probably hear it all the time, right, Dixie? You hear it.
All the time.
We can't get our claim accepted. We can't get paid. Nobody pays us, right?
Yeah,
right.
I hear it all the time.
So I already tried that. The doctor wrote it up, sent it in, and they closed the case. I mean, what do you mean closed? That was from this weekend. We were talking to somebody I think it was last Friday night, and they said it was closed. I said, how does it get closed? And you didn't even go to the right doctor, and their rating that they were getting doesn't make sense. It just, someone's not giving them the real guts or truth that's behind there that you've shown us.
So, and that's right. In the closed cases, I get all the time. Somebody will ask me, Chris, my case is closed. What do I do? Like, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Get it reopened, right? So, one of you, I mean, talk about what you do to get cases reopened. They come to you closed. It happens all the time. What do you do?
You want to start, Dixie?
Okay. So to get a case reopened, we'll kind of go through, we'll see what's happened, where it is, what stage it's at, why it was closed. A lot of times it's just a simple report. It's just reporting it correctly, having the doctor give the correct diagnosis with the correct causation, with the correct, and we have an amazing team that does that. So 9 times out of 10, it's very simple, I guess, to me, because I do it all the time, but it seems very overwhelming to the patient. My favorite line is, it's all fixable. We can fix it. It might take a little bit of time, but we can get it fixed.
That is so true. Dixie, it's almost like you're taking the words from my mouth. I tell people this all the time. I'm like, oh, your case is closed? No problem. Don't lose sleep tonight. We can fix it. Well, how do we fix it? Well, we'll write a letter of medical necessity, get more treatment. Or we'll write you a narrative for your recurrence or whatever. You have a new claim, whatever, we'll do it. Yeah, so we'll fix it. And they're not used to hearing we'll fix it. Okay, so let me shift gears for a second. Dr. Cox, people want to know who you are. So my first question is, how many gold medals have you won in the Olympics?
0.
Nah, come on.
That always hurts. Thank you. No, I finished 28th in the 1996 Olympic Games. I was the #1 fencer for the U.S. representing the top 3. There's 3 of us there down in Atlanta.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it takes a team of people to make the Olympic team. And I was blessed. So when I was training all around the world, I would see different equipment techniques, and I was treated a certain way. All my injuries, rotator cuffs, hamstrings, spinal cord, I got the experience while I was going through school to be treated and see how these unique healers, people working with Olympic athletes, professional athletes, looked at it. What's amazing is most people don't look at it that way. So to go back to your frustration, you go to a specialist and they're going to look at your hand. They're not realizing that the swelling or the pain or the weakness, grip strength could be a heart condition, could be a radicular from your neck, could be, it's all tied together. There could be a core weakness. And when you look at the whole person, and the people we're talking about are active, healthy people. So they need to be looked at as an athlete. And that's, I think, what we do. We're able to listen to how Dixie starts this, go to our providers who are amazing. We break it apart. We tie it all back together. We look at what was already out there. And if it hasn't been done before, we make sure it goes in right the first time. And we start treating right away. It doesn't matter to us. It's a matter of you've got to start feeling better. Otherwise, you're going to be broken forever. And I was that as an athlete, got beat up, got injured afterwards, and personally have gone through a lot of recovery, and just recently got over 6 years ago a complete rupture of an Achilles tendon. So it's a matter of all those things and getting over it and breaking the problem up here and having the right team, atmosphere, energy to help those in need.
So, you and I and Dr. Cooper refer to these federal employees as industrial athletes, right? I mean, they're doing a job that if you spoke to many professional athletes would not do the job. I mean, how many professional athletes do you know that would do a postal service job?
I can't drive the car from the right side if it's on the left side drive. I don't know how they do that. It's
right. So, but the job is hard as hell.
Yes.
And uniquely, you are empathetic to the folks that have these injuries because you've had them all as an athlete. And that's why I brought it up, because a lot of patients go to their doctors. Their doctors went to school, and that's great, just like you do. Fantastic. But you actually experienced so many of the injuries that they're living with.
Yes. And that's the part. I mean, you just think about it the most common could be just the ankle dysfunction and how it's being thrown off. Obviously the low backs are there, the knees are there, the shoulders are amazing. Having torn both my rotator cuffs in the spinal cord, that was so difficult. And we're always looking for the greatest treatment that's going to help people to recover. But being able to go back to what you're saying, where this fear comes from is you're being taken down a path with someone and I'm not knocking other providers, but I am saying that they're maybe not being allowed to look at the whole person, to look at the whole complexity of the injury. You can't be in an auto accident and delivering and doing a service or step in a hole and fall over and not damage multiple parts of your body. It just has to happen. So it's not the swollen knee, but it could be other areas. And if you don't look at that and don't write it up completely, then you're leaving a lot of important information on the table, which down the road could be another case. Dixie's so good at talking to the patients and finding out, this could be related because she's seen all of these.
Yeah.
But patients need that full overview. Even dealing with some of this, I know you've talked about COVID and what it's doing to the lungs and the respiratory. There's a reason I bring up grip strength. Just testing your grip strength. There could be a weakness in the heart. And things like that need to be looked at, evaluated, so you don't miss something, because you are operating as a high athlete and your body wants to get back to that.
That's exactly right. And Dixie, so let me end with this. Dixie, you talk to every single patient that comes to the office, right? Like everybody. Every single person. So for everyone that's watching, all the Federal Injury Center's offices, you're going to speak to Tiffany in a minute, but all the Federal Injury Center's offices have a case manager whose sole responsibility is to walk you through the very complicated process of an OWCP claim. How to file your claim on eComp, how to get your forms, how to understand the letters DOL sends you, and how we assimilate all that into intake and turn it into a narrative report that gets claims accepted. So, Dixie, you see all of this stuff at probably the highest level. And what are the key things that you're seeing that people are bringing to you? And you're thinking, gosh, if they only knew what to do, we'd help them so much better on day one, but they're confused. Like, do you see that everyone is confused with, how to file their injury and what to do next after I file it even?
It's what to do next. Okay, I filed it. Now what? Where do I go? Who do I see? And so, when I talk to them, I try to go step 1, step 2, step 3. We get approved, then we go to 4, 5, and 6. If they have it laid out, they're much more comfortable that way. It's just
so we can walk them through all the process, right? Like this confusing thing we're going to talk about tonight, how we don't report our injuries because we're scared. Well, it's a lot less scary when you have somebody like you or like Tiffany who can walk them through it, right? And that's what you do.
Yes. Yeah,
so
I get a lot of phone calls. My supervisor said this. My supervisor said that. This is happening. That's happening. And a lot of times I can just be like, no, not necessarily. Let's go this direction. Let's do it like this. Oh, okay. Is that what they said? Well, I can do this form. Watch this.
Yeah. You know what the biggest, and Dr. Cox, I know you're going to say something, but I said this last week. The biggest problem I have is when a federal employee says to me, well, my supervisor, it doesn't agree with you, so I'm going to do what they said. So how many times do you see that work out?
Yeah, that's a tough one. And to what Dixie says, it's if it makes sense when you listen to her, she explains it so clearly and she knows the processes. And just I call her over things and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. And it's so far outside of the box. That's what she's great at. And we would never get to sit with the patient with such confidence and look at them as a provider, to actually look and say, okay, let's talk about your case for a minute, because they know there's a step process that's being handled behind it, which is really where the problems are coming from.
Yeah.
Then we just add our area of expertise, which is really getting down to that root diagnosis and getting that causation explained. And it's fun to be able to be the provider, to be the doctor, to help with that. And then knowing that we're going to follow it up with the right documentation, the right sequence. Dixie's always checking it. She's just constantly going back, talking to people, finding out where it stands. She knows because it's a passion. Getting, like you said, getting that call when you get into claim accepted case. I mean, there's so many that are getting accepted now on a regular basis. I mean, the few that come as a denial, it's wonderful. You turn it right back around and go, well, this one's coming back in a month, because it's just silly what they're saying. It's like, they didn't read this. It says it right here. And Dixie's good at catching all that too.
That's right. And so in the last year, you've had, probably today you're at 100. Dixie, you can only count 99 because you only count the ones you've seen. But I mean, they happen like this. They just happen. So let's just call it 100. You had 100 claims accepted in a year. That is, I think, a record, because I've been doing this for a long time, and I have not seen 100 in a year. If I have, I can't remember. So that's fantastic. It's incredible. But I'm going to ask you this. So it's funny. So you've had 100 accepted. You've had more that are in process. But, Doc, you're a chiropractor. They can't come see you. What the hell are you doing in Charlotte? You're a chiropractor. So that's clearly a joke. Fill in the blank.
No, and my parents always used to say, rest their soul, they were always like, can't you be a real doctor? and I could have gone either way, but it was actually PTs, chiropractors, and medical doctors that helped me fix my back problem so I could make the Olympic team. And after that, what I did, my parents always, right, Dixie, we treated for years with all of their differences and issues. It doesn't matter if it was dialysis or kidneys or internal problems. You go through the list of things. Once you come and see what our knowledge is and the experience, you'll wonder why you're not doing that. I'm not saying don't go to your medical doctor, but I don't know if I'd go down this path initially with this, because you need to see the function of the body. And that is just something that, through, unfortunately or fortunately, years of damage experience and a great team, we've been able to put together. This is just a perfect fit, right, Dixie? We love doing this to help people. It works with us.
Well, yes, but obviously, okay. So the main point I was making,
I got away from the chiropractor thing, didn't I?
But you do have a medical doctor and nurse practitioners. How many nurse practitioners do you have?
Oh, we do. Yeah. And I should give them kudos, because Danielle, obviously everybody's meeting with Danielle. Tracy, there, we're putting more time in, Dr. Evans, and some of the things that we can do as a team. We have 2 more chiropractors that are there, that are 3 on staff all the time, because it's perspective. And then when you look at x-rays and we do the outside reads and we, take them and send them through the radiologist and all, the amount that's there, it becomes overwhelming. But the team knows what we're looking for. We know where the end is, to what you were saying, where we want to end up at the end, getting you healthy or maximum medical improvement for whatever those next steps are. We all have that vision. And some of these are very, very difficult cases. Just as soon as you add even the emotional stress that's on there, right, Dixie, that you get to deal with and help people through, because it's terrible. I'll throw one little piece. I go back to the year before the Olympics. I messed up the first 2 tournaments, and nobody that's outside of the top 10 makes the Olympic team. The depression I had over Christmas of 4 years of really focused going to make the team, let alone the other 20 of traveling, and the money and all the family, it rides on you. That crushing pain. How do you get through that? That's the same physical pain you're feeling from these injuries. And if you don't have a way to mentally deal with that and have a structure and a plan and know these huge outcomes and a team of providers, every kind you can think of, that gives you hope. So I always say, just come in, just come take it, see what it feels like. Give a call, talk to Dixie. You'll feel the energy on the phone.
That's right. So I'm going to end with this. For everyone that's in the Charlotte area or in North Carolina, forget Charlotte, all North Carolina, and probably some of South Carolina, right? I know that we get calls all the time. Oh, it's a chiropractic office. No, it's not. It's a multidisciplinary office. There's medical, nurse practitioner, chiropractic. You got the whole gamut. And so I just want to tell everybody, don't feel worried about that you're going to federal injury centers in Charlotte. They have all the medical staff just like you need so you can get your claim accepted. And your medical staff are one-on-one working with the patients, getting the claims accepted, the narratives written, so that your chiropractic staff can treat them based on, and that's by the rules. Chiropractors can see patients. And I like to talk about that because so many union people, so many supervisors think you can't see a chiropractor because they don't know the rules. And so you have the medical staff and the chiropractic staff. It's perfect. And you have 100 accepted claims.
Well,
So
and,
let's
and,
end it here.
and I just say one other, we also refer out to the radiologists. We have orthopedic surgeons. We have a plethora of people, and along with the resources that FIC offers with other facilities, we utilize all those. So the team is much bigger than what people think.
That's
And
right.
when you look at the facility and you look at that, right, Dixie, isn't that it? We have hand specialists, shoulder specialists. You go down the list, and people we can call to say, this is what's going on. What are we going to do about this?
Yeah.
Even if they're just support people, and they help us get the patients taken care of.
Couldn't agree more. All right, so we're really excited to have you. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up because Dr. Cooper's coming next.
Yeah.
But Dr. Cox, do me a favor. Tell everybody how they can call you. Repeat it a couple of times, but let them hear your phone number so they can call you directly.
Yeah, you can call the office 704-525-6288. 704-525-6288. Dynamic Health Carolinas. Obviously, you can go to the Federal Injury Center's website as well. I mean, we're here. You will be talking to our team, and most likely it'll be Dixie to hold your hand and get you started through the process. And anyone's welcome. I mean, even if you're far away, people are driving 3, 4, 5 hours. Hence, we're going to expand to Raleigh and just keep broadening this because we're trying to get closer. There's just not a lot of places that can do what we're doing right now, and we're trying to go as fast as we can to help.
So there's almost nobody doing it. So everyone go to federalinjurycenters.com, check the locations tab, scroll down to Charlotte, North Carolina. The phone number for the office is there. You're going to speak with Dixie. You're going to be glad you did. She'll keep you organized and make sure the case gets accepted. Dr. Cox oversees a multidisciplinary staff of medical and chiropractic and all the support staff. Things are working out well. 100 cases accepted in a year is a big deal. So if you'd like to be in the group that has accepted cases, this is who you call.
Yep.
If you like your case denied, definitely call somebody else. I can give you some recommendations. But for right now, this is where we call. So
Yeah.
Dr. Cox, Dixie, thank you so much for being on. Your patients are here watching. They're going to tell their friends, and I'll make sure they do. So just be ready for the calls that are coming. We really appreciate that you're getting so many cases accepted.
Well, thank you for your support, and we couldn't do it without a great team. So everybody really helps out, and thank you, Dixie.
Thank you guys for taking your time out tonight.
All right, so federalinjurycenters.com, check the locations tab, and go to Charlotte, North Carolina, and get your claim accepted. Don't screw around. Get your claim accepted.
See you soon.
All right, Dixie, Dr. Cox, thank you. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, while Chris is bringing on Dr. Cooper and Tiffany, I wanted to say this. Please don't take this the wrong way. If you
Or take it the wrong way if you're a supervisor.
Right. Well, no, this has nothing to do with supervisors.
Well, it should.
If you are not a part of our franchise, please do not post your information. This is our page. This is for our doctors and our franchise doctors alone, and Chris and I. If you want to be a part of the franchise, reach out to me, but please don't promote your offices on our franchise page, our Federal Injury Centers page. This is just for us, our federal employees nationwide, some worldwide, and our doctors.
But the bigger issue is I didn't train you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you did, so I don't trust you. So
Sorry.
That's the end of it. So next we're going to have, and you might be great. I might love you, but I don't trust you because I don't know you.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Dr. Cooper and Tiffany. I'm going to go and bring them on right now.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. What's up? So we got Dr. Cooper and Tiffany. They are in Forest Park, Georgia. This is what Dr. Cooper told me. You can see the airplanes landing from his office in Forest Park in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And in Phoenix City, you're basically also Columbus, Georgia.
Correct.
So everyone, when you're in that area, this is where you go. If you'd like your claims denied, I can recommend some places, but this is where you go if you want your claims accepted. So we're really happy. We've never done 2 offices in the same night. So Dr. Cox got you all primed up, and so I could just
ready to go.
But I won't.
No, he was awesome. I could have just listened to him for another 20, 30 minutes. He's great, and I love his energy and what he brings to the table. And as being part of the team, you know, when you're a part of a team, what you want is other good teammates, team players, right? If you come on a basketball team, you know, LeBron didn't win a championship by himself. He had to have other players there, and that's what made the team win. And when you got other players that perform at a high level, not only does it keep you on your game, but it helps you to realize there's other folks out there thinking as hard as you are about these problems, because some of these cases that come in are complicated, and it takes, I know someone walks in. We've got one today that Tiffany we may talk about, where OWCP, which I termed the organization that won't care about its people, has termed her dead. I kid you not. She is dead, died. She's sitting in front of me, but she's died. They've already stopped her pay and everything, and she's dead. And so figuring that kind of stuff out takes a little bit of time and energy, and you sit there and go, I'm the only one getting this. And when you see someone like Dr. Cox come on with that energy level, it's like, okay, we got some other folks we can hook up to and get there and get these folks together again.
Couldn't
That's
agree
what
more.
it's about.
So, listen, Dr. Gruber, I'm going to get to you, but I'm going to go to Tiffany, because all of the great offices we have a great case manager. And in case it wasn't, fully described a minute ago, I want to say that the best offices have case managers who understand the case, who know the difference between a CA1 and 2, who know how to find the denial reason in a letter, who can read the second page of a CA1 form and find what the supervisor said that's BS, and then help the doctors write about it in the narrative report. So, Tiffany, that's you. And so, interestingly, I knew your predecessor, and this is not anything about that, but I want to say I remember when I met you first, the first day I met you. Gini and I flew in from I don't even know where, and we landed at the airport. I think we saw your office on the way down at the open house. I think we saw your office as our plane was landing, because that's where it's at. And then we met you, and the thing I remembered about you is that you were fiery. Like you were. I thought that if I told you some BS, you'd probably tell me to stop it in a really harsh way. So you take this very personally. You're very serious about helping these federal employees. So we haven't talked. You didn't know I was going to ask you anything. Okay. So what I want to ask you, and I'm totally putting you on the spot, is how do you feel when some federal employee comes in and says their supervisor said some crap that you know is crap, and they're scared about it? How do you feel about that? We're going to talk about fear tonight. What do you do when someone comes in and says, but my supervisor said something? Yeah. I mean, how do you handle that?
Okay, I'm going to give a backstory first. So before I started with Dr. Cooper and our amazing staff that we have, I was actually a correctional officer for 9 years. And I had an injury as well. It was not federal, it was state. But I had an injury as well. And I know the feeling of not being a person, but a number. Right. And that's what I take to heart the most, is I know how scared I was to approach my supervisors, and I try to help people overcome that. Because at the end of the day, whatever the policy is, that is what is supposed to happen. And if you are following policy, whether it be state or federal, if you're following the policy given, then at the end of the day, they can't do anything to you. Legally, they can't do anything to you. So I try to give my patients a voice and say, look, this is not the end. Your supervisor is not God. This is not the end of your road. Like, just because they say that, I said, what does your policy say? This is what the policy states. Okay, then that's what we're going to do.
I love it. So Red Paris, whoever, I'm sure that's not the real name, but just said, hoorah. Hoorah. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. I mean, hoorah. I couldn't agree more. I love that. So you're a former correctional officer. Was it a federal prison?
No, it wasn't. It was state. Okay.
Well, we were just at we call it a picnic.
Yeah, it was a picnic.
It's a picnic.
It was
a bunch of federal correctional officers
that were like 10 feet tall.
So first of all, if you ever want to have the best time of your life, hang out with a correctional officer.
Yeah.
So, if you just want to have
the stories are awesome.
Call Tiffany. Believe me, you will probably have the best time.
They're rough and tough, but they're the sweetest people.
But, what you said is, you've been there, you've seen it, and you relate to them. And I think that's fantastic, because not only are you an expert in OWCP based on intensely training and what you do, but you actually relate to the folks who've been there. Mm-hmm. And I think that's fantastic. And, they should call you just for that. If you're in the Atlanta or the Phoenix City, Columbus area, and you're like, well, I don't know if anybody understands me, because as you know, everybody thinks they're on an island all by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only person this ever happened to. And their injury is the worst situation that anybody's ever heard. And you've heard all of them. And it turns out they're all bad. And you relate to that. And I think that's great because you're able to relate, not just relate, but also understand and put their stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody owes you a big, just like with Dixie.
Give Dr. Cooper and Dixie some hearts, guys.
I'm serious. Well, Tiffany.
Tiffany, yeah.
But, you know, our
FYI, we have 56 claims approved and accepted as of since February when I started.
Nice.
Since February?
Yes.
Okay, that's not a year. Good job.
Yeah.
And so I think, and I love that you said that I didn't even ask you how many approved claims, and you know, because you're paying attention, because you pay attention to your people. You're helping people. You know who's approved, who's not approved. And that's, I think, where we differ. And I'm going to go to Dr. Cooper on this. This is where we differ from the other doctors that, you know, pretend to be OWCP practices. We care about the lives of our patients, not just that they're patients, and we're not just in it for the money. I mean, Doc, I'm kind of like, I think I'm all over the map on this question, but I'm going to get to it. It's not all about the money. In fact, probably not at all. Look, you know who the people are. Mm-hmm. You do stuff for free all the time too. So anyways, I don't want to talk about any of that. What I'm going to talk about is, you know who the people are. You feel their stuff coming in, you're hearing it, and you're able to solve those problems. You're getting all the claims accepted. So Dr. Cooper, what problems are you hearing that people are telling you about?
I think the first thing that happens is a patient will come in and they'll, you know, well, I need to see a neurologist, or I need to see this, or I need to see that. And the problem is that they don't have the right diagnosis to begin with. They come in and they've got a strained sprain of their neck, or they've got a contusion to their shoulder, or they've got something like this. And I can't get you to a specialist because you don't need one yet. You don't have a diagnosis to get the care that you need. And if I send you to one, they're not going to get paid, and they don't know how to get the right diagnosis accepted. So if you go there, the whole case is going to get blown up and you're going to wind up upset. What we've got to do first is to evaluate, figure out what your true diagnoses are, get those accepted. And sometimes it may take 2 or 3 times because they may be complicated diagnoses. I tell our staff, I sit down with our PAs and say, listen, you're writing to an 8-year-old. Okay. You're writing this report you're writing this report for an 8-year-old that's sitting there trying to determine if this person can keep their job, right?
Hey,
so the organization,
for a second. If there are any claims examiner watching and you think you're the 8-year-old, then you probably are.
Yeah. I mean, some of the denials make no sense whatsoever. And if you're reading it with a higher level of intelligence, you can figure it out. So they have to deconstruct the entire thing and put it together so that an 8-year-old can read it and understand it. And
right.
So, but what if you've got a complicated diagnosis? One that you have to put baby talk together to get them to understand. It's difficult sometimes to do it. And so it gets denied, and people are like, well, it got denied. I said, listen, it may not just be because it got denied. Sometimes what you have is complicated. And trying to describe how you injured yourself to an 8-year-old, they don't get it. And we have to come back and use language that is difficult. And sometimes, and Tiffany will laugh at this one, language that is very forceful. I think I called you on Chris, when I just had enough, and I wrote a scathing letter. I mean, one that I hope my mother wouldn't read. They actually approved it, by the way, because they had no reason denying this person's case, and they kept giving a bunch of things that come out of the backside of a horse and leaving all over the place that stinks real bad, reasons why, and I had enough. And so we send these sometimes when it gets to that point, but we try to keep going through it. And the only thing we ask for the employee and for the workers, that listen, be in this fight with us. Once you come to our office and you tell us your story and we realize what you're going through, we're in it to win it. And don't give up, because we've already put our names on the line, and understand when we write these reports, some of them says, well, it's been a week, I haven't been done yet. This thing may be 8 pages long. Mm-hmm. Understand, we make pennies to do these reports, to get these cases accepted. I mean, it's pennies. But the PA and the MD, and we're in there, we're writing this thing out, we're putting this thing together, and then we're like, hey, we need you to come back in. Well, I don't feel like coming back in. I was like, excuse me? You need to come back in. We need more information. This isn't easy.
Between winning and losing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And, you know, your visit isn't over because you walked in and walked out. We've got a lot more stuff to do. And, you know, I'm sitting here tonight for I hadn't left yet. You know, sometimes Tiffany will know, she'll get emails from me 10 o'clock at night. She'll check in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. We're going through this stuff. I'm getting stuff from Yosin, who's a PA up in South Atlanta, Jenny, who's down here, who is amazing. And, you know, we've got a pretty diverse staff. I think at last I count, our staff speaks up to 6 different languages. We can handle a lot of different things, but my goal was to put that together, and so that we can handle almost anything that walk through the office. We just ask that when you come, that you're in for this fight like we're in for the fight to be in here with you.
Well, and that's where we're different from everybody else. And, you know, so I talked about with Dr. Cox that he's an Olympian. Dr. Cooper, do me a favor and do everybody a favor. Talk about your background. You're not just a doctor.
Well, no, I started out, it started out, first of all, I've got a motivated family. I've got a mother that's got more degrees than a thermometer. She's got 3 masters, 2 PhDs. She's a lawyer as well. I got a sister with the gold medal and a bronze medal in 2 different Olympics, and another one that was a retired police officer now, another one that's a business owner. But when I got started, I went to school on a rugby scholarship. So I went through Palmer playing rugby after running track in college. I came out, I've got a son that just graduated West Point. I got hired on to start the military chiropractic program. I did that for a couple of years. So when you see that there's chiropractors on military bases, we helped to write that and put that together, went back into private practice, did some research there with that. And so when I came to the program, we had seen a few things. We had got frustrated because as I started my clinic, we couldn't get other medical doctors to do the things we wanted to do with the patients we were already seeing. And it was getting really frustrating. I said, you know what? I'm going to build my own. So we built our own practice, built our own medical clinic. Eventually that got bigger, started another office up in Atlanta. We have a surgery center there. We have a medical office, a chiropractic office, physical therapy there. And we're actually looking at, I started talking to Joe about a 3rd clinic a couple of weeks ago. So that'll be filtering up to you here in a little bit, pretty soon. So, but as we begin to grow this, I didn't want to release that to Tiffany because she's already had enough, and you know, her head is splitting.
She'll definitely need an assistant.
But it's you know, it's trying to be where the cases are. But we've got a lot of diversity with that. We've had a chance to compete a lot on a lot of different stages, see a lot of different things. I didn't have all the injuries that the other doc had, but I've separated some shoulders. I've done some things, and that's put me in a position where you begin to realize that a lot of times the treatment you get offered, I'll put it to you this way. If you're a federal employee and look at the care you're getting, ask yourself, if you play for Alabama, Roll Tide, if you play for Alabama, is that the care you would be getting? If the answer is no, you need to go and find a center and get your better doctor, because you're an industrial athlete and you deserve access to the same type of care. And too many times when we read these reports, that's not what's happening. It's frustrating. And that's what we focus ourselves on, is providing the type of care that you would have if you had to be on the field Saturday.
I love that you ended that with a college football reference.
He's like, no.
We're in the South, man. This is SEC country.
That's my favorite thing in the world. So thank you for doing that. We're going to end it here.
Wait, I do have a question, because I know Dr.
She has she's never asked a question.
I never asking questions. But Dr. Cooper.
God help you.
Dr. Cooper and Tiffany, what do people do, as a doctor standpoint, what do people do when they go to the ER or the walk-in clinic and it says, see an ortho, instead of going directly to you? So you're the doctor, you guys, and Tiffany, case manager, tell us what they need to do. I know you mentioned a little bit before, but help us out.
I have one statement that I'll turn it over to Tiffany, and I think this is important. This is a statement I learned early on, and when you think about this, it'll help you. To a hammer, everything's a nail. If I go to and we have this happen, you go to in fact, I have a deposition tomorrow in the case. This very thing happened. When you go to a neck spine surgeon, right? Your shoulder doesn't matter. Your elbow doesn't matter. Your knee doesn't matter because he's looking at your neck, and to a hammer, everything's a nail.
Mhm.
If you go to a lower extremity specialist, he's an orthopedist. Oh, he can tell me about your knee. But what if your knee isn't the real problem? To a hammer, everything's a nail. And guess what? Your knee is going to be the problem, whether you like it or not, because that's what he does. And he may be great at it, but that might not be the problem. It may be coming from your ankle. That's causing your knee to rotate, giving you a knee problem. But now you had knee surgery, and now your anatomy is forever changed, and it'll never get right because you can't fix the ankle to now go to a changed knee. But that's my first part of it. Tiffany, you've got the floor.
You well said, Dr. Cooper. I would say on the case management part, don't do it, because most of the time they're not FIC related, or they don't have the FIC background. So when they write up a report, it's not going to get your claim approved. It's just not. And we see it over and over where they have been there before they come to us, and oh, my claim is denied. Why? Well, there was no evidence to support the diagnoses that the surgeon was trying to give you. So
Right.
they're not trained the way we are into writing a report that is going to get diagnoses accepted. And like Dr. Cooper said, it could be a totally different diagnosis, and it's not even related to what really is going on.
Yeah. And then we're faced with the incredible task of taking this new problem that now was created by a surgery that never should have been done. We actually have a couple of cases to go on right now that really wasn't the injury, but now we've got to somehow relate it so that it can be covered, because it's now a consequential because you went there even though you shouldn't have. But that was done, and now it's messing up this problem, and now we've got a very complicated issue that we're trying to get an 8th grader to understand, who works for the organization and won't care about his people. So how do we do that? and that's what keeps us up late at night, typing up stuff, trying to put this together. And it's so sometimes folks will call. We've got some of these Schedule 6 award, these schedule awards that come in, and again, they come in and we look at this diagnosis, and it's like, that's not a good diagnosis for this, and that's not what you have. So we got work to do.
Yeah.
So Amanda's talking about the things I say. He was nicer about it. I call them dummies. He talked about, he tried to be nice. But because not all 8th graders, as you all know, are dummies. But the ones he's talking about probably are. All right. So listen, we're going to have to end it. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do want to say, Dr. Cooper, you decided to go through the 72-hour course for Schedule Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And did that suck or did that suck?
Oh gosh. When you take a test that's like 100 points, it's like, okay, every 10 is a point, or no. It's 100 questions, and you only have a certain amount of time to do it. And every one of them requires math. It is a math equation doing these constantly from beginning to end, taking words and making math out of it. It split my brain for about 2 weeks, but yeah, it was worth it because we could help some people who before couldn't be helped. But it was a process, but I'm glad I did it, and I think we're able to help a lot of folks.
You're a chiropractor. Put your brain back together and keep going. All right, so listen, everybody. So we have a little bit of fun, but you got to see our docs tonight, and we'll do more of this. Tiffany, Dr. Cooper, we really appreciate you not just being on tonight, but actually being on, full time to help these folks.
Yep.
And I've seen them firsthand in your office. I know how much they love you. There's a reason for that, because you're lovable. Not just because you're nice, but because you win.
Yes.
And we really appreciate that. These federal employees need winners, and you're them. Like, you're the winners they're all talking about. So if you're a federal employee, you're in the Atlanta area, drive wherever it takes. I know like downtown Atlanta is not the best place to drive, but do it anyways, because once you get to where you can see the airplanes landing, that means you got to where your claims get accepted. And if you're on the border of Alabama and Georgia, this is where you go, because the alternative is too terrible to imagine. Dr. Cooper and Tiffany, thank you so much for being on. He wants to say something else. You both do. So I want you to go ahead.
Quick shout out to Dr. Hunt and to Dr. Laretis and to Dr. Cunningham, and now come on Dr. Patel, and to all the other staff who cracked their skulls open to do these reports, and also to Yosin and to Jenny Cordovi, who are incredible PAs who have picked this thing up, and they're vested 100% in this, and there's no way we could do this without them. And also we've got Nicole coming back soon, and Tiffany, who sit there and they're on the phone crying with these guys and helping put this stuff together, so we know even what to do. So without them, we're dead in the water. So it takes a team.
More. And I mean, we all appreciate you, and this isn't just this could be like a raw session. I could do it for the next hour. But sincerely, I really appreciate that you've gotten in and you've decided, just like Dr. Cox did, to go just all in. And whatever the problem is, we're going to solve it. And, we got people like you that just don't know how to lose.
Yeah.
And Tiffany, thank God for you.
I know.
These patients call and you're their first point of contact. Yeah. So we really appreciate that. When people call, they don't, the mystery of OWCP gets revealed. You get to fix
Absolutely.
It. So thank you both. For everyone else, go to federalinjurycenters.com, check locations, go to Georgia and Alabama, and scroll down to the where he's got. Like he said, he'll have a third one soon. I will push him with the bottom of my foot to make that happen.
Absolutely. And for Dr. Johnson and Sasha and our PTAs, thank you guys. And thank you guys for being who you guys are. I tell you what, the training you guys give, first notch, first class, and we couldn't do it without you. And it's special. So appreciate it.
Well, Dr. Cooper, you didn't have to tell everybody I'm the best in the world. It's my job to tell you you're the best in the world. They all know I am.
It's me, not him.
Well, Gini said we needed to help to pump you up and everything else, because everybody already knows where she's at, but we have to work on keeping you right there in the center. So that's kind of important.
I'm gonna send you a Fire Lion T-shirt.
Oh man, I'll wear that thing in the office.
I know you will.
In fact, I'll get it put on the back of my shirt. I'll replace this one.
No.
I'll put the
back
Fire Lion. Oh gosh, there we go.
Hey, we really appreciate having you here. Everyone's happy to see you. You've been getting just like love. Everyone's giving you love. We can't read it all. It's too much. But we're happy to have you. Everyone's happy to know you. And everyone go to federalinjurycenters.com, check the locations tab, and go where they're at. Don't suffer denied claims unless you just like losing, because we don't.
The number that they can contact too is 334-592-8454. That directly goes to me.
Say it again.
Yes, 334-592-8454.
That's it. All right, everyone, call and don't get screwed with your OWCP claims, because you don't have to.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, guys, so we're going to continue on. What we're going to discuss is how not to be scared of your supervisors. We're going to get rid of the retaliation, you're going to get terminated, all of this scary stuff. We're just going to give you some pointers, because right now, especially for USPS employees, Christmas is here since September, maybe.
You're going to have a lot of injuries.
Packages, injuries, snow, ice, some places still heat. So we're going to help you get past this fear of what you guys have. And before Chris starts on that, thank you, Dr. Cox and Dixie, Dr. Cooper, and Tiffany. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if any of our franchises are on, please say Federal Injury Centers of whatever city. Please put your phone number and your address, because you guys are separating it and they're not getting to see what office. And If you're not a part of our franchise, we're sorry. Please don't promote. And there's some other company on here. We don't charge our patients, so please don't promote yourself on our page.
So I'm glad you said that. So if anybody's on here and they're promoting themselves and they want you to pay, block them.
Yeah.
We don't do that. Nobody pays anything to get help from us. So if anybody's here saying, "Oh, we're going to piggyback on to Wednesday Night Chats with Chris and Gini," no, please don't. We're not promoting them. We don't want you to get paid or to have to pay to do anything. Everything should be free. There's no reason you should have to pay for what our doctors do as part of their normal business.
Yeah.
So if anybody's is on here, they're not approved by me. We'll try to block them later. And so if you're here, you're about to get blocked.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, because we don't charge our people anything. If you're charging them, get the hell out of here. We're not here for you. You're not here for my people. And these are my people.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Mike Joseph, you said, are we allowed to see any doctor? You can go outside of our franchise. It's fine. Yes, you can go.
And we want you to go to any willing doctor. But if anybody charges you out of your pocket, you're probably in the wrong place.
Yeah. And so if you want to find any of our locations, just please, it's easy. federalinjurycenters.com. There's a tab at the top. You can click it. And all our locations are there. There's a huge thing that says click here for locations. All these doctors that you're seeing that they're putting Federal Injury Centers of Greenville or Birmingham or Columbus, just go to our website and you'll be able to find any one of them and call them in the morning. Yep.
So a lot of Nina, thank you so much. You're in McKinney, Texas. You're Federal Injury Centers. We got San Antonio, Greenville, South Carolina. I can't see them all. Columbus, Ohio. So these are all Federal Injury Centers offices. So if you're here, write Federal Injury Centers of. And if you're not Federal Injury Centers and you write Federal Injury Centers of a city, I promise you,
I know all the locations.
No, it's going to backfire on you. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it at all. So I wouldn't do that to yourself, because somebody's going to say, "Wait, you're not Federal Injury Centers." They're going to tell everybody they know, and then you're screwed. So just get out of here.
Yeah, we have Federal Injury Centers of Virginia, Maryland, and DC. We have
Quincy, Massachusetts.
Federal Injury Centers of Tucson, Arizona. A lot of our doctors are getting on tonight. So pay attention. Reach out to these guys in the morning. They're going to take great care. They did have their training from Chris and Tom, our case managers. So you may get some denials. It's bound to happen, but we will fix it. You don't need to call us and ask us if you need to get an attorney. No attorney, because Eric Blowers or any of the attorneys that we met, you just got to see if your doctor can fix it.
And Jacqueline's on from Charlotte, so definitely call Charlotte. Dr. Williams in Orlando.
Yes.
If you're looking for an office and you want to make sure they're Federal Injury Centers, go to federalinjurycenters.com and check the locations tab. If you don't see them listed on the locations tab, they're not us. So be careful. You can go wherever you want to go. But we don't allow people that are not trained by me to be marketed or promoted on this page, because our job is to get your claim accepted. If I haven't trained them, I can't prove that they can get a claim accepted. So, that's your risk. But the rest of you, if you're not Federal Injury Centers, we're definitely going to block you, so you'll never be here again. All right, so we want to talk about not having fear. We had the doctors on. I think that's great. So these two guys and their case managers and all their staff have gotten nearly 200 claims approved this year, which is fantastic. It's so incredible to have that. That's what we do. We get claims accepted. And so if you are someone who has an injury and you get your claim accepted, there's no reason to be fearful, because your supervisor has no power over you when your claim is accepted, because the law protects you and penalizes them. And so that's great. The other thing about fear is that you have a right, according to OSHA, the Code of Federal Regulations, the United States Code, you have a right to report a work injury. You have a right to get help. And when they don't allow you to get help, you get to file complaints with OSHA, with DOJ, with your OIG. You can file grievances with your unions, and your unions should be filing grievances at record paces, because this is happening. And we know that not all unions file grievances, but you all should. And I don't care. Like, some unions are mad because I say file grievance. Don't care. File 1, 2, 3,000.
Go through the steps that you need to
do what it takes.
Through. Yes, that's what he means by that.
No, what I mean is, if you're a union, file a grievance, even if you don't like filing grievances. Do it, because your people need it. They need it. They're getting hammered. They're getting crushed by supervisors with no protection. The union is in your back, like right here. They're in your corner. So that's why we say don't have fear. Have your union fight for you. The union reps that we know that we're friends with will fight like viciously for you.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it. I'm confident saying, go get your union to help. You don't have to ask your supervisor if it's okay to file a claim anymore, because you get to file an ecomp, ecomp.dol.gov. You get to just go there and file it. They get an email and they're like, oh crap, what do I do? Well, here's what they do. They have 10 days to do whatever. If they don't do it, you get to file a grievance. File a grievance even if your union won't file it for you. They have 10 days to do it. So there's no fear. And they're going to say, well, if you do this, we're going to do this to you. That's against the law. Your sixth employee right with OSHA is the right to report a work injury. So when they do that, 1-800-321-OSHA. 321-OSHA is, I assure you, the easiest phone number in the world to remember. If you know your best friends, your girlfriends, if you know your wife's phone number, you probably live with her. Your dad or mom's phone number, 1-800-321-OSHA is easier than that. So remember that. And you just call and say, hey, my supervisor said I can't report an injury because they'll fire me. Is that a violation? My supervisor said if I report an injury, they're going to, demote me, or they're going to send me 50 miles away for a work assignment, or, they're not going to have any work for me, or,
Right.
whatever. Is that a violation? The answer is yes, because OSHA said your sixth employee right is to report a work injury. So 1-800-321-OSHA. And then grievances are powerful. Labor board charges are powerful because, so I'll get to that. EEO is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like it, but I think it's great. But labor board charges set a precedent for future cases. So if you win your case, whoever comes next with the same case is going to win because of you. So you're helping somebody else. Just don't let management think they have power they don't have. And they can write on box 25 and 28 and 29 and 30, whatever, on the second page of the CA1, all this crap about you that's not true. Your doctor can win, and it hurts them because their incorrect or false statements can penalize them with fines, imprisonment, or both. What's your fear? The only thing I would tell you not to do is don't lie. Don't say that I have a work injury that's not real. That, if you got hurt at home, don't say it's at work. And don't miss your deadlines. You have 3 years to report an injury. If it's 4 years, you can't. I'm sorry. But if it's within 3, you can. So don't miss your deadlines and don't lie. As long as you're not doing those things, which almost nobody does. In fact, I can't think of anybody that has since I've been doing this. You're going to win as long as you pick the right doctor. So tonight we had Dr. Cox and Cooper on. We've had Dr. From Pinellas Park, Georgia, or Florida. And we have a bunch of other doctors you're going to see. You can go to federalinjurycenters.com and check the locations tab. And these doctors are trained to get your claims accepted.
Yeah.
And when your claim's accepted, you don't have to fear management, because as long as union has got your back, the doctors have your front. And you're going to be fine. So you don't have to fear your injury. If I were you, when you find the right doctor and you understand the laws, the only fear I'd have is not getting better. And you can't get better if you don't have your claim accepted. So I'll end there.
All right, we have Marissa with Federal Injury Centers of Norwood, Massachusetts on. We have Federal Injury Centers of Gulfport, Mississippi, Federal Injury Centers of Charlotte, Federal Injury Centers of Birmingham, Huntsville, and Montgomery. So you guys will see all the doctors. If you don't catch it, you can go back after the live and check out their information, or just go to the website and give them a call tomorrow. So we want to hear, why is it that you guys are so fearful when they're harassing you, threatening you to be terminated? I mean, are you really thinking, I understand a job is a job. We all need a job to provide for our family and ourselves. But what happens when you get injured and you can't go back to work? Or somebody, I hate to bring this up, gets into a suicide or a car accident or anything like that. Who do you think cares about you? Not management. Not management.
They're going to replace you tomorrow.
Right. Your peers. And you know what he said? They're going to replace you tomorrow. We had somebody actually tell us that in person last week at a union thing. So you are replaceable. So don't be scared in filing your claim. The supervisors are not going to fix your legs, fix your shoulders, fix your back. you have to take responsibility for yourself and file your claim. And it's easy with e-comp now. It's easier. And the supervisors have 10 days to review your CA1 or 2 and then send it off to DOL.
Right. And it's not that we think you're replaceable, but your management does.
Your management does, yeah.
And I think that's sad. I hate it. It makes me want to punch people in the throat that are named managers. But, you know, you're not replaceable. They don't realize what they're losing when they lose you. But forget that. Forget what they think, because I always say, repeat after me, I don't care what my supervisor thinks. And I don't want any of you to care, because when you're hurt, it doesn't hurt them. They sleep fine at night. It hurts you. So you got to do what it takes to get better. And what it takes to get better is file your claim on time, find the right doctor, get a CA16, elect COP, and get better, you know, and make your supervisors adhere to your contract, and that's your union's job. So if you can do those things, you're going to be fine. You can always call us, you know, the phone number, the 877 number, she answers. Sometimes she can't answer because there's so many of you and she's one person. But we have a staff as well. And all of our doctors, like you saw tonight, have staff as well that can help you.
Yeah.
We're all here to help you. And all you got to do is reach out and ask, and we're here for you.
And we know there's a handful of union officials and there's a handful of supervisors that do a great job. When we went to an APW meeting, here the president said they just don't, some of them in his building just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So when you call us and we give you the advice or we give you the laws and rules, just show it to them. The best thing to show any management or supervisor that doesn't understand OWCP is a CA10. Tell them to read the CA10.
If they can read English, but if they can't read English, you might have to read it to them. And many supervisors probably can't pronounce words like the and, but you can pronounce those for them and just say, hey, what do you think this means? And if they're not sure, get your union steward. They can tell them what it means.
Yeah, and I know you said the communication breaks down, and it does, but we're here to help both the union, even the supervisors if they need something, and the stewards and the members. This is what we're here for. We're never going to try to tell you don't go to your union or anything like that.
No, we love your union. We love
union.
them. We think they're awesome.
Right. So we understand sometimes there's a miscommunication. They may not know. So we're just here for added assistance. So let me see. Kelly says, I'm finally off for PT. Do supervisors and postmasters have to allow you to make it possible to get to your appointment?
Yeah, so you have the right by law to spend up to 4 hours of your work shift in the doctor's office getting better. So that's your answer.
When your claim gets approved.
Well, when the claim is approved. So if you go to a doctor who can't get your claim approved, then that's a problem.
You know, we had two of our clinics one clinic asked us if there's a get trained by us. We said, okay.
They don't really want to.
We
They're
went
not
to
like
another thing and said there's a supervisor that wanted to sit in on the training that we provide.
Not going to like it.
So we're here for added help. What else are you guys dealing with that makes you so fearful in filing your claims?
So,
why?
And you shouldn't be. It's when. I want to say this right because I respect unions, all of them, even the ones that don't like me. When your unions are powerful, then they can protect you. And I believe that powerful union members can protect you. And even when you think your union doesn't have power, you have reps that are.
Yes.
And that care, that love you. We know so many of them. And that's why I promote unions. And people say, well, were you in the union or what, are you in the back pocket of the union? No, I want you to be protected. I want you to have the support in your corner. And that's the union. I mean, I'm in your corner, but I can't walk into your station. They can.
Yeah.
And they should. And if they don't, find somebody that will.
Yeah. We have Renee Marie saying the post office doesn't seem to get that if you worked harder at helping the injured employees, they wouldn't need to try to bring in a 2,800 or however many new people for the holiday. Agreed.
I've always said that if management, and in all my books, breakingowcp.com, in all my books, I write chapters to managers. And, the chapters basically say, hey, if you love your people, you'll get people back to work faster because you're not screwing with them. So have your managers read my books, breakingowcp.com. They won't. I don't know if they can even read English. But if they can, have them read the book. It's like 3 chapters each or 3 pages each. That's a lot. They might get fatigued. Hold on. Let me say this. Of my 3 books, there might be 10 pages total for managers. That's a lot because these are small pages and they may not be able to handle it. But you might have to translate it, read it to them, explain it to them, whatever it takes, so they understand how to be better supervisors for you. And if you're watching this and you are a supervisor for a federal agency and you're offended, that's the point.
If you don't want to be, excuse my French, shitted on as a supervisor or postmaster, help your
Be good at
people out. You're not a medical doctor, so you cannot tell them their injury is an injury or not. If you are a supervisor and you're a medical doctor, we want to see your license.
Well, and okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to say, but many of you know me. So I have a master's in business, is what I do. I spent my entire adult life in healthcare. So I can tell your supervisors with expertise that, stop sucking at what you do.
I have a RN background, and I have never once told any one of you when you are messaging me, calling me, how to treat, what to do. I'm not going to do that. I don't have a MD.
She's not a doctor,
license.
right? And your supervisor has no license,
right,
and no management background. Many of them were promoted from janitor, and so they're really good at that. Anyways, my point is, don't be scared of that. You're getting bullied by people who are not qualified to bully you. And so I'm talking shit about supervisors. I do this all the time. It's what I do because I'm one of them, but not the bad ones. So don't get bullied by them. One of my chapters in one of my books is don't get bullied. I mean it. Don't think that management has some power over you. I get people all the time saying, well, what you said is not what management said, so I'm going to do what they say. Okay, well, what you just said to me is I want to get screwed. Okay, I heard you. You want to get screwed. They're not going to do long-term what's in your best interest. So just, read up, learn the rules, talk to your folks, talk to to unions, talk to your coworkers, read the books, do what it takes. Come back here every week, and don't get hosed by supervisors anymore. You don't have to be scared. They have no power. They have no power, so don't let them have any.
They may be a supervisor or a postmaster. They may not know the rules and laws, or they just don't want to help you. You have to fend for yourself. No, they're not going to take care of you. They are not going to take care of you. And especially if you have a family depending on you, file your claim, stop being scared. And if you're being threatened, they say they're going to fire you, terminated, whatever, reach out to us. We can tell you what laws to show them.
So that's going to be it. So I know there's a lot of questions. We're going to answer those, but we're going to probably hang up here. But let me say this.
Hang up.
Imagine you're on a phone. Look, I don't want you to be scared.
No.
I want you to feel confident in filing your claims because your retirement is a benefit you really want. You cherish that. And you can't make it to retirement if you can't make it through tomorrow's work shift. So here we are to help you. You don't have to go to our doctors. It's fine if you don't. You can go anywhere as long as you get your claim accepted. But you need to be able to fight for yourself. And so we're here for you. We love you. And, my message to you tonight is, just don't roll over.
Yeah.
Don't roll over.
All right, let's get to some questions.
No, we're not.
Oh, what?
So I sit next to her. She almost never listens to me. So we're actually done. That's it.
No.
We're going to answer questions.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Oh, okay.
She doesn't listen that much. All right, so we're going to actually answer questions so I don't look like a jerk because I'm not going to answer questions. Go ahead.
How do I get an MRI approved when you don't have a case number, yet you can't use your private insurance? I need medical evidence for an MRI to get the case approved.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay use your health insurance or get your doctor to make a deal with the MRI centers so they don't charge you out of pocket.
Renee Marie said, you might need to make an audiobook with smaller words for management.
I don't know enough 3-letter words to make that happen, so I think the management wouldn't read my book.
Julie said, if I have an appointment on an accepted claim and the postmaster gives me day off for an appointment and I offer that I can come in till an hour before an appointment and she declines, what do I do if this happens?
Union, grievance.
Maria said, it's like they are trained to bully us on purpose. It's ridiculous.
No, they bully you, Maria, because you all, not you necessarily, but you let them bully you. Your unions let them bully you. I don't understand it. If somebody bullied me, I couldn't imagine tolerating it. If someone told me, look, the last job that I had, I had a boss who bullied me until the last day. And then he was like, wait, where'd Chris go? Bye.
And then his practice failed.
And I'm not telling you have to quit, but he's out of business now. So, look, I don't want you to do that, but don't get bullied. The law is in your favor. The law is here to protect you. It's here to protect you and to penalize management when they don't protect you. And you have a union that's supposed to have your back. So if they don't, vote. It's voting season. Vote. If your union doesn't have your back, vote. And it's not because I want your union reps to get voted out, because I love them too, but I love you more. Vote. The whole point is get the protection that you pay for, that you need, that is required so you can survive a work injury. So I am going to actually log off now because I got to go to the bathroom. What do you want from me? Okay, so that's about to happen. But we love you, and I'm happy you got to see Dr. Cooper, Dr. Cox, and Tiffany. Who's knocking on our door?
Nobody.
It's a hotel room. And Dixie, don't knock on my door. And maybe I'm being too loud and the neighbors don't like it. But listen, seriously, all joking aside, you have the power to fix your situation. You have the power. Go to a doctor who can get your claim accepted. Get your union to get involved. If they're not, get new union reps. That's entirely in your power. And to you union reps who are friends of mine, I'm not talking to you because you are power.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not powerful. You are the definition of power. And everybody should be like that.
Yeah.
Because I can't cross over the line into the agency and say, hey, you supervisors, you jerks. That's not my role. My role is to tell you what to do. Your union reps can walk in there on equal footing with management.
Yeah.
It's their job. And it's your responsibility to make them do that. Because, in my opinion, OWCP problems are your biggest problems. They're the problems you don't even see you have. But ask around. I can't work. I'm too hurt. I'm not getting paid. Those are huge problems. And it's like, you didn't ask to get hurt, but you're hurt. It happens. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to need any of my doctors. I hope you never, ever have to call one of my doctors. But if you do, you will get all the expertise that you didn't get from any place else. That's why we're here.
Yeah. And again, if your claim has been denied, file a reconsideration and have a doctor fix it for you, or call one of our doctors. They're trained. So with that said, you'll see us tomorrow. I'll take some pictures in Miami. We are going for a marketing convention and recruiting the last set of doctors for the last quarter, and hoping that we can get some more doctors in the locations that we do not have a doctor. And we will see you guys next week. And don't forget, our 2 winners for the share winners tonight is Tanya Fieri and Olga. Olga, I can't remember your last name, but please mail so you can tell me what $100 gift card you'd like. And those of you on, share, so you could be November's share winner for a $100 gift card.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Gotta go. Good night.